Okay, Miss Wells, I'm going to take a peek in your ears first and see what I can
Might be
find.
dirty.
There's a potato in this ear.
I thought it did. Go ahead and...
I think it's an Irish potato.
Well, I like them sweet potatoes too.
You like those too?
Yes.
That's great. Any children?
One daughter, but she's adopted.
Adopted daughter?
I was
You've
pregnant.
had none of your own, right?
No, I was pregnant in my tubes. And we had a water baby. I was supposed to have twins.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to peek in your eyes. I want you to pick a spot out on the wall and stare very still at it for me, okay? It's going to be a little bright.
R.G. Olston is a student doctor, and today his assignment includes working on a free mobile clinic that serves low-income areas in Fort Worth.
Ever since I was a young kid, I had a kind of a basic interest in people, felt a strong need to do something for people. I love people and I love working with them, and I decided that perhaps the medical profession was one of the best ways I could fill this need. I was oriented allopathically all my life. I had an allopathic doctor. As a matter of fact, I had a string of allopathic doctors, but
When Holston speaks of allopathic medicine, he is speaking of that medicine practiced by MDs. But after a doctor of osteopathic medicine was able to diagnose and treat his wife's knee ailment when MDs were not, Holston was attracted to the osteopathic field.
I visited some osteopathic hospitals and medical schools and developed a great interest. I noticed a great compassion for people. There's very close contact with people. They are down on people's level. They believe in touching people and letting them know that they're human beings, you know, and that they accept them. So, being impressed as such, I applied to several osteopathic schools, and this is how I came into the profession.
On June 3rd, Olston will graduate from a Fort Worth medical school. A lot of people, including the citizens of Fort Worth, don't realize that a medical school exists in that city. But it does, the Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine.
In the fall of 1970, this college was opened on the top floor of the Fort Worth Osteopathic Hospital with 20 students.
Osteopathic medicine is a complete system of therapy which embraces surgery, diagnosis, medical treatment, all the various specialty disciplines, but also as its very important impact is on the integrity of the musculoskeletal system. The musculoskeletal system is in reality the skeleton of the body, or the bony structures, and the musculature of the body, which keeps it in place and also keeps it functioning. The theory of osteopathic care is that if the structure of the body is proper, that there is less probability of the development of disease, and that with osteopathic care to normalize the musculoskeletal system, that recovery will be enhanced and quicker.
As they graduate from here, they are ready to enter into a family practice or general practice. If they choose to go into a specialty after their year of internship, then they take a residency in whatever particular discipline that they choose, and that means another 3 or 4 years of training before they can be eligible to be certified.
Do you see a difference between teaching for the osteopathic field as opposed to the medical field?
I think there are some differences, and I think the differences are interesting, both from an academic point of view and from a philosophic point of view. We are primary care oriented, and so we train more family physicians, and our focus and emphasis are on those things. We don't give great emphasis to training doctors to do research work, nor do we make great emphasis for training people for academic medicine. And maybe someday we'll do that, but for right now, we focus on training people for primary or family care. That's one difference.
Dr. C. Raymond Olson has a private practice in Fort Worth, but he also teaches internal medicine at the Osteopathic College. Dr. Olson compares the osteopathic medical field with the plight of other minorities in this country.
Is that we are a minority group and we recognize our minority status. And that has some bad things as well as some good things. One is we have to deal with a lot of garbage about being minority, which includes a lot of prejudice and stuff like that. The other thing is that being a member of a minority group, as you might experience, gives you a license to do some things maybe you might not otherwise do. I think we don't feel locked in by a lot of majority school attitudes.
Ethics prevents doctors, both medical doctors and osteopathic doctors, from thrashing out their differences in public. But there are differences of opinion between the two groups. Basically, the DOs only like to talk about the positive side, and the MDs don't like to talk about it at all. Well, recently, the Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine made an application to John Peter Smith Hospital in Fort Worth to have some of its students do training at that public hospital. Peter Smith denied the application because Southwestern Medical School in Dallas denied the application. The reason given for the denial was that there wasn't enough room at the hospital to accommodate both the osteopathic trainees and the Southwestern Medical School trainees. Dr. Olson didn't like that decision.
Right. I'm upset because I see healthcare as something that all people need. I accept that we have two schools of medicine. We have a majority school and we have a minority school. The osteopathic school is the minority school. We don't plan to go away. We plan to be here. We plan to train doctors. We plan to train doctors to provide health care for people. And this requires that we have classroom settings. And we've learned in the past 25 years that the classrooms for learning medicine have to include all hospital situations and all doctor-patient transactions. Well, with that in mind, then we need hospital settings where people can train medical students to be doctors. And what I'm asking for is that the city-county hospital, which is funded by public monies, to which I contribute with my own tax money, and to which my patients contribute with their tax money, be appropriately used then for training not only the majority school physicians, but the minority school physicians. It, to me, would be like saying, okay, we're going to have a city-county hospital, but it's only going to be for green people, and you have to be the color green to get in, or we're not going to take care of you, and I think that's ridiculous. I think the decision was stupid, and I think it was based on the historic hunger for prestige and power that has characterized human interactions for a lot longer than I've been around.